Well, let's take you to day 2 of the murder trial for the romance novelist Nancy Brophy, accused of killing her husband. A warning again tonight. The details here are disturbing, and we begin our coverage with testimony from the student at the Oregon Culinary Institute who found Daniel Brophy's body. He was a chef and instructor there. Clorinda Perez testified she had shown up with some classmates early, had gone to make coffee that morning in June 2018. That is when she saw the kitchen lights on and heard the water running.
I checked to see if I could get a response really quick, and I didn't. And then I ran to the doorway and just yelled for someone to call 911. I told the girl that was on the phone with them, because we're taught even if you break a rib, you don't stop, you continue compressions, and so I thought that's what I had done.
Yeah, she thought she'd broken a rib. Perez didn't know it at the time as she performed CPR, but Brophy had been shot twice, once in the back, then a second time in the chest, prosecutors say. Now, we also heard from first responders who testified they arrived within 3 minutes of that 911 call and within moments realized something was gravely wrong.
I moved his left arm to apply the tourniquet to start the IV when I saw the spent casing roll out. At that point, I stopped the scene and had everybody look for weapons, because it's highly unusual to see a spent casing. So we did a safety check, and as I was doing that, looking around, and everybody was looking around, I noticed a second spent casing.
Now, keep in mind, these are state witnesses. Defense didn't really try to poke any holes in their testimony so much as begin planting small seeds of doubt, asking witnesses about a homeless camp under the bleachers of the neighboring high school. And then someone spotted, they said, going through recycling bins outside the school. So reasonable doubt, remember, the threshold for conviction. The prosecution expected to take about 3 weeks to present its case, followed by defense, who says Nancy Brophy couldn't have killed her husband because they were in love. That is their argument so far. At some point, we understand she's expected to testify in her own defense. Complete coverage and updates, of course, on air and online over the next few weeks, all at kgw.com.